Recording in progress.
Yeah, I have 5:02. The meeting, the hearing was warned for 5 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and get started.
I don't know what's happening here.
What's that, Bill?
I don't know what's happening here. Just a second. Is that working now? Yep. Okay.
So the 5:02, go ahead and open this meeting of the Draft and Development Review Board. Ask the members to please review the agenda. Do we have any additions, edits, comment? There being none, we'll go straight into our main order of business tonight, which is the public hearing. Go ahead and open the hearing. 5:03. We have before us a request by Michael Terenzetti for classification of a minor subdivision and for the subdivision approval. Is that not correct? No. We're doing a lot line adjustment.
You read the
This one, okay, I got it.
That's it. I'll read it.
That's from the front question. We have before us a request by Michael Terenzetti for classification as a boundary line adjustment and for approval to adjust the boundary affecting lots 1 and 2 of his parcel 009069.1 with the effect of reducing lot 1 from 6.1818 acres to 2.0 acres and increasing lot 2 from 2.72 acres to 6.10 acres. The Terenzetti parcel as reconfigured will consist of 3 lots totaling 13.98 acres, namely lot 1, 2.8 acres approximately, lot 2 of approximately 6.1 acres, and lot 3 of approximately 5.08 acres, located at 2900 Route 121 East Grafton, Vermont. Before we go further, I would just at this time ask anyone who will be giving testimony to take the following oath with me. Do you swear that the testimony that you shall give in this hearing shall be the truth and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury?
Yes.
I would ask the members of the Development Review Board at this time to disclose any conflicts of interest or ex parte communication regarding the matter under consideration tonight.
I have none.
Okay, none. So at this time then, well, let me go ahead. Do I read the section 132?
I can do that.
Okay, then at this time, I will turn it over to the administrative officer for his testimony.
A boundary line adjustment is any request to deal with the property lines of a piece of property that does not create any new lot as a result of the adjustment, will not adversely impact access to any parcel, will not adversely impact any significant natural resource or result in fragmentation of agricultural land of identified fragile natural feature, will not result in development of any portion of a parcel that has been designated open space as a result of the prior municipal permit, is in conformance with the Grafton Town Plan. The applicant has demonstrated either a wastewater permit or a water supply permit has been obtained or is not required. Going through reviewing the plans as presented. As to the water wastewater that set forth on the plan. And there is no change to any access or nor is there any impact on any part of the project that is adverse to any of these procedures here. And we are simply, there's no new law created, so it meets all the requirements of a boundary line adjustment and therefore it should be treated as such. And then with regard to the hearing today, if there's any questions on it, I can answer this first. With regard to the hearing today, the notice was published in the Grafton News, the July 2024 edition. I have it here with me. The public hearing notice was then posted on the board and at the property and mailed to the abutter on July 1st. Michael Terranzetti is the owner, and he's with us here today. This hearing is boundary line adjustment requiring only one hearing. It is there is one right of way to the property for lot 1 for the benefit lot 2, and that remains just like it did in the original subdivision. The access to lot 3 is directly off lot 121. And the drawing, which is the plat that is presented by Joe D. Bernardo, it meets the requirements of the regulations and is adequate for this hearing. And I just want to know, Joe, are the pins reset now? They're all been done. So there's nothing to, no pins to set. Oh, okay. And I have nothing any further.
Do the driveway accesses still remain for all 3 some parcels? In other words, as adjusted, does the driveway access still serve all 3 parcels?
The driveway access serves 1 and 2. The access to 3 is directly off the highway. You'll see it up there. It is marked
there. Sure.
There was no change in the right.
So as currently configured, there are 3 lots, is that correct?
Correct.
And what is the size of lot 3? Is it the 5.08 acres?
The lot 3 remains just what it was.
Yes.
So it's just 1 and 2 that are.
5
adjusted.
Yeah, just 1 and 2 are changed.
Okay. All right, thank you. Does anyone else have any questions for the administrative officer? Okay, at this time, I will take testimony from the applicant or his representative.
Okay, I'm Joe D. Bernardo, for the record, land surveyor, representing Michael Terranzetti. So I piloted this up to kind of make it a little simpler. Essentially, the blue is lot 2, as it currently is comprised. And then the pink and the yellow is lot 1 as it's currently comprised. What Michael is proposing to do is to add the pink to the blue, and then the yellow can be the remainder of lot.
That's very helpful.
That was my original plan, and then I changed the plan last time, and now I mentioned that.
So the pink is being added to the
Okay, so you can see there what he's.
Yeah.
and then lot 1 used to be all this. It's gonna be this sound.
So that's, we're going to think about. Now, I get rid of liability for that.
So you're selling lot 2 and 3?
Yeah, yeah.
And you're keeping one here.
Yeah.
And you just might adjust the values.
Yeah, just cut it off.
Yeah, this line's being dissolved. Yeah, this line's been dissolved.
You have for the minutes, the attendees, Dave Mulrath and Tracy. Butters, so.
Yeah. It's the best. Keep this for the file.
Hey, do you have any other testimony to present? Okay, any public comment? If you have any questions from the board or the applicant or his representative?
Seems straightforward to me.
Yeah, it's straightforward.
That being the case, then we can move to a vote.
Yeah,
Finding of fact.
a motion first on the finding that it is a lot line adjustment decision.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to that end to find that this is indeed a lot line adjustment decision.
So moved.
Sorry.
Motion by Joe Collier, second by Eric Stevens. Any discussion? There being none, we'll move straight to a vote. All those in favor of this board finding that this is a lot line adjustment, vote by saying aye. Aye. Motion is carried unanimously. And from here, we'll go ahead and close the hearing. 5:15, we'll enter into deliberative session. Is this open or closed?
It's a deliberative session just for you, but everybody can stay. It isn't like the select board meeting.
All right.
Unless you want it to be secret.
I see no need for it not to be open. If the rest of the board confers, we'll move toward a finding of that and adopt a decision on this matter. Seems pretty straightforward to me. And I think our concerns from the municipal perspective are satisfied.
Yeah.
I would entertain a motion then to find. Finding the following findings of fact then regarding this application. First, the notice of the hearing today was published in the July edition of the Grafton News. It was posted on bulletin boards and on the property as required on July 1st and sent to abutters on that same date. Second, that all persons were given the opportunity to testify, and those testifying were Bill Kearns
And Joe,
and Joe DiBernardo, surveyor. Third, that the applicant and his representative presented the request for classification as a boundary line adjustment and for approval to adjust the boundary line affecting lots 1 and lot 2 of his parcel number 009069.1 with the effect of reducing lot 1 from 6.18 acres to 2.8 acres and increasing lot 2 from 2.72 to 6.1 acres. The Terranzetti parcel as reconfigured will consist of 3 lots totaling 13.98 acres. Namely lot 1, 2.8 acres as stated, lot 2 is 6.10 acres as stated, and lot 3 remaining at 5.08 acres. Located at 2900 Route 121 East Grafton, Vermont. I don't know if we addressed this, and that's my oversight. The pins are set. They are. So, for finding a fact that the pins shown on the plat have indeed been placed. 5, the matter was found by the Development Review Board to be a boundary lot line adjustment. 6, the plat presented met all the criteria required of a plat for a boundary line adjustment. Are there any other findings of fact that need to be included? So at this time, I would entertain any motion that the request by the applicant, Michael Terranzetti, for classification as a boundary line adjustment.
Chris?
Yeah.
What on the findings of fact first?
Okay. Those 6 findings of fact that I just read off, I would need a motion to make those findings.
So
Motion by Eric Stevens, second by Joe Polio. Discussion. There being none, all those in favor vote by saying aye. Aye. So the facts as stated. Hold. Motion is passed. At this time, we'll make our decision. I would entertain a motion, that the request by Michael Terranzetti for the classification as a boundary line adjustment and for approval to adjust the lines affecting lot 1 and lot 2 of his parcel, that being 009069.1, with the effect of reducing lot 1 from 6.8 acres to 2.8 acres and increasing lot 2 from 2.72 acres to 6.1 acres. Terranzetti parcel as reconfigured will consist of 3 lots totaling 13.98 acres, namely lot 1 at 2.8 acres, lot 2 at 6.1 acres, and lot 3 at 5.08 acres, located at 2900 Route 121 East, Grafton, Vermont. Approved subject to the conditions that the pins are set as depicted on the plat.
You
So we can scrap that.
extract that. So number 1 is there's just one condition.
And that is that the applicant shall cause the Mylar of the plat properly executed by the members of the Development Review Board to be filed with the public records of the town of Grafton within 180 days from the date of final approval, that is from the date of this decision, or the approval will expire.
Can I just change that? It should be by the chair.
Yeah. So, will be executed by me or the acting chair. If I'm not. We have a motion. Okay, motion by Joe Polio, second by Eric Stevens. Do we have any discussion?
one of the simplest actions we've ever taken on it.
I can have a comment at the end.
So we will move straight to vote, then all those in favor of approving the lot line adjustment. Vote by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the motion is carried unanimously. And go ahead and close this hearing at 5:22. We have any other business before this body, Development Review Board?
The only one to suggest about it is I don't see any way that a lot line adjustment that meets the criteria that I read off at the beginning of this. If it meets all those criteria, it's not affecting anything, it's not really changing anything, it's just moving along. Whether that's 1,000 acres or 1 acre. I don't see why it needs to go to the DRB. But that's what the regulation says, if it's over 1 acre, it needs to. I need to check with Vermont state law to see if that's in the state law, or is that something that we did? Maybe you put the limit at more than 20 acres or. You know, if it's, as long as it's less than 28 acres, then the administrative officer can do it, because this is a terrible waste of time, both for the applicant and for you guys. When it is just straightforward. And it will always be straightforward if you have to meet, you know, there's no new law. Will not adversely back any of those things, those big things. That, my suggestion is you ask the planning commission if they look at that and see if they can change it.
We interpret the regulation, but the planning commission is the one who.
Yeah, no, I understand.
And you're gonna research it?
I'll look and see.
If you can verify that there is a stipulated threshold at the state level.
Yeah, then I'll send out an email to you guys, and you guys can then pass it on.
This is just admin at this point, you guys are good to go.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, that's what we need, you don't have to. If you didn't have, if somebody didn't show up, and you wouldn't have a quorum, then you would all over.
Yeah. And you know what they have to go.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Well, they still doesn't do a bylaw, still has to do.
Yeah, for the official, but that's for all the
As long as all those
criteria.
Yeah, as long as it makes all that.
Yes, there needs to be oversight, you know, but whether we provide the oversight or it's done administratively. As long as it's done, those conditions are met.
Yeah,
Don't disagree, thank you.
but, I can't see how it could affect that,
Thank you, David Tracy, for coming out.
as long as you meet all the criteria. I mean, it's not gonna infringe on anything, it's not gonna cause any issues.
Now, I guess I was on the Zoom call, when we addressed like for individual measures, emergency vehicles.
Oh,
That's okay, we catch me up there on all of it.
that should be more a matter of the town's, access to the highway.
I don't know, Morgan,
Which is,
Yeah, that's, we have more than tonight.
I mean, but I want to make sure, I don't know.
Yeah, but they can't, you can't put a driveway cut into the highway unless you go through the process. You have to put an application, take a code in and all that.
it probably is good to include in the subdivision regulation, the, kind of fallback position that if for some reason, a member or even one of our DRB members felt it was important that we could review it in a forum like this.
Right, or if there were public concern.
Otherwise, it's makes a whole lot of sense to have the administrative officer get.
Okay.
Correctly.
It is interesting though, the letters came out, but that's just probably because they received an official notification from the town.
Yeah, it wouldn't
That's something.
necessarily what might transpire here.
That's the only, well, that's the only thing, if you didn't have it here, there should be a notification.
That should still be,
Yeah, because the abutters is entitled to know that.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. Because, you know, it could be something much larger going on.
Right,
In a
exactly.
different parcel. That could be a concern to a butter. Um. Is Matt still the chair? Of the
Yes.
planning commission? We can,
I did hear your discussion because I talked to Danny, so is there a concern that it was too big?
No,
No,
no, my last comment was that if a member of the review board felt it was necessary, but we could hold a hearing, even if it were something that the administrative officer would otherwise say it's okay. It's just that it's questioning.
and
If that's provided for in the regulations. The regulations do say,
This is relative to how we might change that regulation, so let's just preserve that. Okay,
let's see, okay, such boundary line survey or corrected deed shall be administered by the AO as boundary line adjustments with the additional requirement that the AO should inform the members of development review board in writing 30 days, within 30 days of receiving the application, shall not approve the application based on the survey deed or deed for 10 days from the date the notice has been given to those members. So you have 10 days to say, this is more complicated, we should hear.
okay. And are butters still notified by the administrative officer?
Yeah. How do I do that? Yeah, I send everybody, the same thing, I have to give everybody,
You know, if we're not involved, the butters are still gonna be notified,
Yeah,
that's my concern.
I always have to send something to them. And I think it's a 30-day notice.
well, let the planning commission deal with it. Make
Yeah, but I mean, we had recommendations.
Right, I mean, we make recommendation, let them deal with it, and
Right,
then, can we look at their changes, or is it?
yeah, you know, like if there is a change to the,
Okay,
is there gonna be a hearing if the regulations change?
Yeah.
Does that trigger a hearing?
it does. I don't believe it's,
even a minor change.
yeah.
Okay, good, so, because you might not like what they did. I'm not saying they would, right,
The notification for the ones that I approved. Has to be, I put a date in the notification, 16 days, the date of the application, so I would make it 60 days from the date I'm mailing it to them, to all the others. So they have to be back to me within that period of time. To
Okay,
and what I could do is just.
and you said 30 days?
Is that
30 days?
16 days.
16, it's kind of tight for like a second.
is that formality part of the subdivision regulation itself?
For the ones I approved, yes.
Well, whomever is administrative officer would follow whatever is in the
Yeah.
subdivision regulation. And that procedure is in it,
Yes,
it is in there, okay, that's all.
yeah, I mean, these regulations were adopted on March 16, 2020. So. Maybe it's, I'm not saying you should change them, but maybe, well, let's take a look at them. Just in case. Don't put together another town's, copy of another town's, or VFCP can supply you those too. See what other towns are doing, or maybe the language is already in there, maybe another town has that same language.
Yeah.
So there's other legislation that's happened in the interim that
Yeah, that's another situation.
should figure into a subdivision. In particular, the connected habitat. And Quarters, yeah, animal quarters. Should be reflected in there. And almost certain it's not. Right.
Here we go.
We're still in the meeting under other business, is there any other business? There being none, 5:32, longer than I thought.
Well, a little bit shorter, we didn't talk about the change in the regulations, so.
Yeah, but I mean, it's important, and we want to do it right.
No, I agree.
Any other subdivisions, that you're aware of on the horizon?
It's been pretty quiet, remarkably quiet, these last.
There's only been what, 2 or 3, I think, 3, in a while.
Yeah, well, that's what we live is there, that,
Huh? No, yeah, well, wasn't it one that? There was a prior to that, wasn't there, the Fishers or something?
Yeah, we did,
oh, the,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Fisher,
well, that one was
Charlie Wall.
Fisher's, there was 3 in a row, that Fish, maybe it was Terry
Yeah.
said, and Fisher
There's a Buster, yeah.
and somebody else.
there was something that, up on,
Cambridge Ford.
no,
There
no,
was one up on,
yeah.
the hill, Randy Lockerby's, or was that a couple of years?
That was really complicated, no, that's been a long time.
No, it's up, wasn't it? Okay, what's the name of the road? It's there, it goes, it's the road that goes. First road out of Cambridge Point. Coming to Grafton on the right hand side.
Cambridge Ford Road.
No, it's not, it's one that,
first part of the bug road.
no, I from Cambridge Point, from the town, from the village. It's right before the bridge, it's on the right.
Oh,
Parker Hill, I think, didn't we do one there?
We did,
Didn't we
Scott
do-
Jensen's there.
Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
Scott
that's-
Jensen's property there.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
well, thank you.
I don't need those other plans if you.
No,
exactly. You didn't have them. Yeah, I don't think, so the rest of the stuff can be thrown out.
I'll give it to the chair, and the chair can do whatever they want with it.
And I know that you want stuff.
There's no map here. And otherwise, I'm not gonna keep it.
Are you around tomorrow?
I should be, yeah.
Okay, what?
You do that.
See you later.
Don't take a fair to stay on.
I should be, but yeah.
Oh, Bill. Speaking of. The, heat pumps. You were around when